Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. So, continuing on with the last video, back over here at the new house working on windows. Josh came over to give me a hand getting some of these bigger ones in. So ideally, if we can get these bottom three bigger windows taped up and get those in, that would be really nice. We'll see how long this takes because the lift is acting up right now, so EJ's coming over in a little bit to tinker with that and get that going, and we'll just try to push forward and get whatever we can get done, get it done. So enjoy the time lapse. Alright guys, so with the help of Josh, we got this window in. As you can see, opens nice and smooth, closes nice and smooth, doesn't get hung up. The lock functions really nice. Just all in all, super happy that I have some help to get these bigger windows in, because I would not be able to do this window myself. Lunch is here though, so we'll take a short break. We'll be right back at it. So the next window we're going to get in is this upstairs bedroom, because we have this nice roof to work off of. So we'll get that put in and get it plumbed and leveled and squared, and hopefully this one goes nice and smooth. Everything I do is OSHA approved, so while me and Josh were jumping from this roof to that roof, that was OSHA approved. But don't feel the need to go tell OSHA. But this window's all done. It's all nailed up. You guys saw us nailing away. The time-lapse camera was on the ground there, but regardless, like I said around back on the other video, I do like to nail every single hole on these nailer strips. I know there's a number of people out there that are going to say, oh, you don't have to nail every hole, every other hole, save yourself some No, I like to overbuild, I like to overdo things. I don't need to nail every hole, but I also didn't need to pour my footers a foot thick and 3 feet wide, but I want them overbuilt, so I did it, so I did that, deal with it. But it's all sealed up, the window wrap. I like to do a double layer up top here. I put one layer underneath the Tyvek paper on top of the window nailer, and then you fold the Tyvek paper down, and then I like to do another strip. That way everything is all sealed up, everything's good. Any water or anything blows underneath here, there's no way it's getting behind this waterproofing or the Tyvek. or the other layer waterproofing, it's going to run down, and that's that window. So I can go ahead, put the screen back in, and then go ahead, jump down the bottom and finish nailing that window up and get that all waterproofed. All right, guys, so it's a pretty rainy and crappy day. So pairing that with the lift not functioning right, the serpentine belt broke. I can't remember if I said that yesterday. Kind of making it a little bit difficult to get any of the window stuff done. I'm gonna see if there's any dry window sills that I can start taping and get finished up, so that hopefully tomorrow when the lift's fixed, I can go ahead and just hammer out some windows. I believe Josh is coming back over tomorrow, so that'll be a huge help. But for right now, I owe Vevor another review. This company has been very, very great to work with. They've sent me a number of products now, said do a review, keep it. They sent me something probably 2 months ago. Actually, it's probably closer to 3 months now. Right when they sent it to me, we got hit with a really, really bad cold front and a bunch of snow, so the ground froze, so I wasn't able to use this particular item. This item that I'm referring to is the 120-pound magnetic sweeper. This thing is going to be a pretty nice little tool to have around here for sweeping the driveways, out front, sweeping down there, especially using the crushed concrete that I use. There were some little bits and pieces of wire rebar in there, so I want to make sure I get all that out so we don't have to worry about, you know, people driving over them, popping tires. And then after the framing crew was done, I was noticing just a ton of nails out front here in the turnaround area, as well as getting out into the driveway a little bit. So again, it's kind of difficult to use this outside right now, because even though the ground's starting to unthaw, it's getting really, really soft and wet and muddy. So this particular sweeping magnet goes onto our machine. We have 2 channels right here that go onto the fork, the fork portion of our skid loaders. We do have fork attachment, so that'll hook right onto there, and then you can just kind of keep that an inch or so above the ground, creeping along, sweeping, and it will actually pick up to 120 pounds. Luckily, right now, there are a bunch of nails scattered all over the floor. It's really coming down rain-wise. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of drag this around and push it around. And it might be a little bit awkward because I'm gonna be picking it up by these channels and just kind of casually sweeping it, almost like a straight edge, because obviously I'm not bringing a machine into my house. It does weigh approximately 32 pounds, so it's not super heavy, but you know, it's also not the lightest. They do have other handheld magnetic sweepers, so if you guys are interested, there's a link in the description for this particular magnet, but then you can also check out the different magnetic sweepers that Vevor has to offer. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this camera set up and see how many nails and how far away that magnet will actually pick these nails up to. All right, so I'm about 3 to 4 inches off the ground there, and it just picked that nail up no problem. Got another one. Oh yeah. All right, let's get you guys a different view. Okay, so not the most ideal way to use this particular sweeper magnet, but it works. If I really wanted to, I could probably tie a rope to these eye bolts and hold it, you know, by the rope. That way I don't have to bend over and it kills my back. But like I said, they make other ones that are meant to be handheld. I just can't really do the outside sweeping right now with the machine. It's way too muddy. I'll just end up making more of a mess. So for this demonstration, this is working. One of the things that I really like about this is that even though this is made for machine, like these two pockets are for the forks. It has this lever right here. So what you do is you pull this lever up, and it disengages the magnet. It pulls that magnetic bar up, and everything drops. Then you have everything in a nice big pile. You can clean it up with ease, or just do that straight into the garbage can, and you're all set. So, like I said, not the most ideal way to use this particular magnetic sweeper, but the good folks over at Vever have been very patient about me getting this review out, been very understanding about, hey, you know, the ground's froze, I can't really use it right now. So I'm very fortunate to have those guys in my corner sending me stuff and just trying to help where they can. So if you're in the market for a magnetic sweeper, check out Vever. This one is one of their bigger ones. They do have smaller ones. I believe they have a 20-pound one, lifting capacity, I should say, 20, 40, 60 pounds. This is the 120-pound magnetic sweeper. Again, meant to go on forks for a forklift or a skid loader, but should come in handy and be very useful. So I can even take that to job sites, sweep the driveways, and know in full confidence I can pull my work truck onto a construction driveway and not run the risk of getting any flat tires. So with all that being said, thank you folks over at Vever for helping us out with that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and get back to taping up some windows. Hopefully we don't get too wet. Oh man, do I love that view. So back out here, it's about 7 a.m. Sun's just coming up. Everything is still pretty frosted over. And I mean, I'm sure you guys are aware, if you've been on this planet for longer than a couple years, that especially when we get into this time of the year, when we are going through our freeze and thaw cycles, the temperatures come up to mid to upper 40s, possibly even lower 50s. Everything starts to thaw out, and then it drops back down below freezing overnight. Everything kind of refreezes and gets a nice frosty coating. So just trying to kill some time so that this frost here on these sills that I still need to tape melt. I'm gonna try to get stuff situated to help Chester out when he comes back. As I've said before, this window up here in the attic got sized to the wrong opening. So Steve from 84 Lumber said that when Chester comes back to resize that one, he'll have him put the window in for me as a bit of a, sorry about that. While Chester's here though, I'm gonna see if I can just pay him a little bit extra and throw this other window in for me, the one up in the attic here. There it is. Just because that is the tallest part of the house, and I've said it multiple times, I'm terrified of heights. So if I can pay Chester a little bit of money and he does that in 10 or 15 minutes, I'm perfectly fine with that. So in order to do that though, I'm gonna try to make it as easy as possible. So we have 3/4 inch plywood still down there that's tongue and grooved, that eventually, since we're gonna be finishing up here in the attic, all that flooring is gonna need to be 3/4 inch plywood, tongue and groove, so it's all locked together. I'm gonna go ahead and get a few pieces up there to make for a platform for me to stand on while I'm taping that opening, as well as, maybe give Chester a little bit more incentive to throw that window in. So we're gonna go ahead, set the time-lapse camera up, and this should be fun. That sucked. It'll be worth it in the end though. I'm gonna take a breather, jump up there with some tape, roller and a knife, and get that window opening flashed. And then I think all the sills in my office are dried, so I think I can start on those. And then these ones over here, they're actually starting to dry up pretty quick. So hopefully this goes relatively fast. Okay guys, so fast forward a couple days here. The lift is fixed. Thank you EJ for taking care of that. We got it warming up. It's been running now for probably 10 or 15 minutes while I get everything set up. So that should be nice and warm. The first two windows I'm going to tackle are going to be these two here. They're both casement windows for this rear bedroom upstairs. I should be able to manage those by myself. They're not excessively heavy, but I can kind of tack them lightly, run inside, shim them, make sure they're nice and plumb and level and everything, and then nail it up and get the sides and top taped. Because remember, we're leaving that bottom open now for any water to for any moisture or anything to have a place to go. So we'll get in the lift here, we'll get going and get the time-lapse camera up and enjoy. All right, everybody, so that's gonna do it. All of the windows that I have and are able to get in are in. Now, if you saw those pan overs, you probably saw there were a few window openings that didn't have the windows in. A couple reasons for that if you guys kind of scrolled through this video. The window up in the gable in the attic up here was framed into the wrong size, so Chester and his guys are gonna come back, resize that. They're gonna throw me a favor and throw this attic window in on the tall end because I'm terrified of heights. There was one window in the garage that was also sized a little bit wrong, so they're gonna fix that up for me. And then the two basement windows I'll put in after we get the basement floor poured. That way we don't have to worry about splashing them with concrete while we're pouring them. And then these two windows right behind me in our dining room area, they were ordered the wrong size and they needed to reorder the correct size. So no big deal. Oh yeah, and I broke that one, so had to reorder that. But you know, accidents happen, and if that's the worst thing that happens during this whole process is I broke a window and had to pay for a new one, I'll consider this a huge victory, because there are so many things that can go wrong that if that's it. Luckily, it wasn't one of the big expensive windows. It wasn't one of the smallest windows either, but it was enough that it was like, all right, let's resituate these windows, make sure this doesn't happen again, but not enough that I'm gonna lose my mind and stress out so much where I'm losing sleep. So accidents happen, you kind of just put your head down and keep pushing forward. So that's what we're doing. And in case you're wondering, that's this window here. But basically, I owe a bunch of people a huge thank you. Josh, Julian, my dad, thank you guys for taking time out of your days to come over and help me get some of these windows in. That was so much help. I actually didn't have the cameras up and running when Julian was here helping me, and my SD card on my big tripod camera was malfunctioning, so I think it actually only caught about half of what me and my dad were doing. This is why I love this house. Deer just walking down behind my gravel pile. Oh, I love it here. That's just so cool. So right in my backyard. Future monster. That's a buck that had already shed its antlers. You can tell because there's like these little holes like right below its ears where the antlers had fallen off. So it's pretty neat to see him walking around just grazing. But anyways, back to what we were talking about. You know, when Julian was here, I kind of just wanted to get stuff done, so didn't want to have to think about camera positioning or anything like that. So me and him just busted out a ton of the big windows, like this one here. That was a struggle. I thought that one was going to be a lot lighter than it actually was. It was not. That was heavy. And then when my dad was here, again, had the one camera up, but didn't really check it to make sure it was recording. I believe it caught about half of what we did. But either way, Josh, Julian, Dad, thank you guys a ton. I truly, truly appreciate the help you guys were able to give me. And then EJ as well. The lift broke down. He was here to figure out what was going on with it, ordered the parts and got it fixed for me. And then I actually had a slight hiccup with it again, but he was over here that same day to try to remedy the situation. Really don't know what happened because it started right up for him that second time, but either way, I mean, yeah, thank you guys a ton. I really appreciate it. But for now, pretty much all the windows are in. Like I said a little bit ago, a couple more windows to put in, but gotta handle that at a later date. And then we actually got a sliding glass door for our future deck door there. It was on sale for $450 at Home Depot, so I really couldn't pass that up. It is black on the outside, so I have to paint it because we're doing all white. But either way, I talked to a painter friend. He said if you have a paint sprayer and attention to detail, you can handle it. So he talked me through it. Pretty simple process, and you know, he said any questions, give him a call. So I'm pretty psyched about that deal too. But just it's so neat to be able to walk around in here now with the windows in, because there's no wind blowing through. It's nice and quiet. You can't even hear 79. And actually, when I'm outside, it's pretty faint, but I just tune it out within a matter of a couple minutes. But like, you come inside with the windows in now, other than the Tyvek wrapping blowing in the wind, I mean, you really can't even hear it, which is awesome. But one of my favorite things about this is the view from the living room. I mean, it's just, I'm so excited because I know what it's going to look like at some point in time after that brush pile is burned down and I have my garbage picked up. It's going to be the best striped yard you've ever seen, because I'm getting a striping kit, and whoa, it's going to be so sick. So just these little things that I'm excited about, like striping my future yard. That gets me really excited. But I mean, progress is progress. We got windows in. It wasn't the easiest job, but it was a job that needed to get done. Mostly done now, and we'll just keep pressing on. So tomorrow we're actually getting a bunch of rain. I brought one of the excavators over, parked it in the basement. I'm going to start on the underground plumbing, and actually have a concrete truck lined up for Friday. Today is Monday, I think. Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. So we have a mixer lined up for Friday so we can pour the storage area underneath my section of garage. So that means I have to get the underground plumbing in. I have to get it graded. I have to get the plumbing inspected before it gets graded. So a couple things that need to happen tomorrow, and I'm gonna bust my butt to make sure it does. And that'll be another video. But for right now, I want to thank you guys for tuning back into another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. I say this line every single video, and if you've watched a couple of my videos up until this point, you probably know what I'm gonna say. I say it every video, and I'll continue to say it, but I truly appreciate the support that you guys give me on each and every one of my videos. The views keep increasing, the subscribers keep increasing, and the number of shares and comments I get every week increase. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, because as I've stated before, time is the one commodity that you cannot get more of. So the fact that you guys are gonna give me 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes of your time a couple times a week that I post a video truly means more to me than I can ever express. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. But thank you guys for tuning back in to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. If you liked what you saw, please click the like and subscribe. Don't forget to like us on Instagram, and don't forget to check out the description for the product link for that magnetic sweeper from Vever. Those guys are awesome, and they've been treating me right. So, you know, let's just hope that relationship keeps on going. So thank you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.